Hi everyone, let's talk about AEW Collision, which was an excellent show from this past week, February 7th, 2026. Let's talk about it, guys. We had the Young Bucks face the Gates of Agony, and the Young Bucks won over the Gates of Agony. Winners advance to tag team title number one contenders against the Rascals and a mystery team. I can't wait, man. I can't wait for this Wednesday. I just can't wait for that number one contender match. It's going to be good, that triple threat. It's going to be so good. I can't wait, man. I'm telling you. The speed versus power and Gaze of Agony played smart defense with answers for the Bucks and sinister offense as the match proceeds. Also again, as the match proceeds, and the Bucks were rolling in the grave, and Gaze of Agony pulled out a great teamwork maneuver, and Bishop Khan pressed Matt Jackson into the air for Tyler to deliver a shoulder tackle in the end, and the Bucks and Lynch. I'll say it again: the Bucks unleash super kicks and DDTs to Tyler out of the picture, and the Bucks strapped Bishop Khan for the Meltzer driver for the win, and that's what happened right there, guys, for the win. And then afterwards, FTR spoke from the big screen, and FTR issued the Bucks of chasing their legacy, but it wouldn't happen if it be FTR's pleasure to hand the Bucks another loss in this rivalry between the Bucks and FTR. Then Brody King scored the biggest win of his career, beating MJF. And that is till next week when he wins the AEW World Championship. There was stuff like that on there as well, guys. But I think Brody King is not going to win this coming Saturday in AEW Grand Slam Australia. I think MJF is going to retain. But we'll see. Guys. We'll see. Then we had Chris Statlander. I'll repeat it again. We had Chris Statlander's stipulation. The champ was in the ring to pick the rules for the rematch against Tekla, and however, the Triangle of Madness and brushed her, and Tekla whipped Chris Statlander with a belt, and she didn't care what the stipulation is because the end will always be the same and toxic. And Chris Statlander's energy refilled the stipulation, and it's going to be a strap match, guys, this Wednesday. A strap match for the AEW Women's Championship. It's going to be fun with Tekla and Chris Statlander. Can't wait, guys. Just can't wait. Then Kyle Fletcher didn't respect Tommaso Ciampa handing out TNT title shots in open challenge, and Okada stepped into a fit. I was thinking, and a fish. I was thinking, and fest. I was thinking, a fest Kyle Fletcher to make sure that he is next, so the Aussie can. I was thinking, as the Aussie can return home to Grand Slam as a champion, and Okada cheesed it up by closing with, Proto Okada. I'll say it again, guys. Proto Okada. And that's what happened right there. Really good stuff. So that's what happened right there. Then we had Kevin Knight versus Scorpio Sky. Decent match. Loved it, guys. Let's talk about it. So Kevin Knight starts with Ruseful first, and Sky used his I'll say it again. Scorpio Sky used his veteran experience to gain control in the end, and Kevin Knight was too fly, and Scorpio Sky had momentum. Then Kevin Knight lifted up for a jumping super hurricanrana, and then Kevin Knight kept on the pressure for a springboard lariat and a UFO splash to win, and that's how Kevin Knight defeated Scorpio Sky. Then the wrestlers in change respect after the match. Loved it. Sportsmanship, good sportsmanship, guys. Then Hook has broken news with Samoa Joe's out injury, and he puts Hook in charge of the Hobbs, and Hook is a born leader that I'll say it again, that inspires people, and he is now the boss. I'll repeat it again, that inspires people and now's the boss. Then we had Mia Shirakawa versus Fia Fan. I'll say it again, Fania Fan. I'll say it again, Fania Fan versus Mia Shirakawa, and Mia Shirakawa picked up the win. This was a little fun match with the women and stuff, guys. I liked it and stuff. Appreciate everybody watching and stuff. And I love the support as always, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Then Fant put up a good fight, and Mia worked the knee, and that paid off later on the finish. And Mia exploded for a flying sling blade and a fury of strikes to set up the spinning back fist and the figure four submission to win. And afterwards, Maria Shafir arrived to the ring and mad dogging Mia. And then Maria Shafir's match is next. Then we had Wheeler Yuta and Maria Shafir versus Dante Martin and Jenna Stills. This was a fun match. I'm telling you. This match right here was fun. I'm telling you. Fun. Let's talk about it, guys. And Wheeler Yuta and Maria Shafir picked up the win over Dante Martin and Jenna Stills. Mixed tag rules, and Yuta tried to sneak a slam on Stills, but Martin made the save, and the match continued with a cinch on Martin and hot tag to Stills running wild, and she launched for a flying crossbody, and Maria Shafir caught her to counter for a swinging slam into the mother's milk submission, and that's what happened right there, guys. Then afterwards, Yuta was going to shave Stills' head, and then OC and Tony Storm's run with scissors for the save. That was a good moment right there, the save Jenna Stills and stuff, guys. And I can't wait for that match this coming Saturday between Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm's fences, Maria Shafir and Wheeler Yuta, and the losers get their heads shaved. That's the only thing I have a disagreement with. That's kind of like WWE booking, with the hair versus, thing. Really don't care. I think the match is going to be good, but that hair thing, I wish it was just a normal tag match, but we'll see. But all those four, I love them, from the Death Riders and the Conservation guys. But anyways, let's carry on. Then Jimmy Hayter and Alex Winters have a tag team name, the Brawling Birds. That's a nice name in my opinion, the Brawling Birds. Then the inspiration came to Jimmy Hayter when they beat up some dudes trying to flirt with them at the bar. Then we had MJF was incensed about Hangman Adam Page butting. I'll say it again. MJF was irate about Hangman Adam Page butting into his business, and he's praised that Hangman wins so he can get his revenge. And MJF hates Andrade too, so that would be just as fun. And MJF will lay down the Hebrew hammer on the Latino man, and Brody King wins was a fluke. I'll say it again. Brody King's win was a fluke, and he doesn't stand a chance against MJF at Grand Slam. When MJF's back is against the wall, that is when the devil is the most dangerous. Then we had Tekla versus Brittany Brooks. Brittany Brooks, I love this girl, man. Brittany Brooks in the Independence. Shout out to her, and I know she was in AFW in Arizona. My other hometown. Shout out to local wrestling out there as well. So there's my salute and my you know what I'm saying? Salute. You know what I'm saying? Salute. So let's talk about it, guys. So Swash punches and the Spider Spear to win, and afterwards Tekla whipped Brooks with the belt. Then Jon Moxley hypes up his Continental title against Tutesta at Grand Slam, and Mox loses to Tutesta in the tournament, and now he has the responsibility to keep going back to his assist, and he will be Moxley. I'll repeat it again. He has the responsibility to keep coming back to he concedes, and it would be Moxley at his best versus Tutesta at his best. Both are chasing the dragon. Only one will find it. Then we had this match. Oh my goodness, this parking lot match. Oh my God, this made WWE look bad in my opinion. This is just my opinion. In my opinion, this made WWE look bad because they used to do stuff like this. They used to, in my opinion, used to. But this made WWE look bad in my opinion. You can agree, you can disagree, but no hate here, guys. But you know what I'm saying. But anyways, guys, let's talk about it. So we had Eddie Kingston and Ortiz, and Damon Xavier and Zachary Wentz defeating the Grizzly Young Veterans and Big Bill and Brian Keith and Chaos Sense and highlights and since Wentz with Wentz with hot fire flames off the limbo roof. I'll say again, limbo roof, and Big Bill pressed a Savior over the limbo, and a Savior with a shooting star press off the limbo roof. I'll say again, off the limbo roof, and the Rascals I'll say again, hot boxing Brian Keith into the limo, and then Big Bill's choke slamming Zachary Wentz. I'll repeat again. Big Bill choke slamming Zachary Wentz into the windshield, and Grizzly Young Vets with a boom days device to a Savior, and the finish comes down to 2-1. I'll say it again. I'll repeat it again, guys. The finish comes down to 2-on-2 plus 2, and Grizzly Young Vets kick Eddie Kingston and Ortiz in the groin, and then they choke Eddie Kingston with their scraff. I'll say it again. Then they choke Eddie Kingston with their scraff, and then Ortiz comes. I'll say it again. Ortiz comes from behind the choke Grizzly Young Vets with jumping cables. I'll repeat it again, guys. Ortiz comes from behind the choke Grizzly Young Veterans with jumping cables. Then Azadon. I'll say it again. Izadon, I'll repeat it again. Izadon makes the surprise and makes the save, and Ortiz and Myron Reed was also a surprise to eliminate Don from the mix, and Ortiz powerbomb James Drake onto the car hood, and Eddie Kingston hits a DDT to Gibson on the car roof for the pin, and the winners a 6 onto Medicaid. I'll say it again, onto Medicaid. I'll repeat it again. I can't pronounce it right, but I'll repeat it again. The winners exit on Medikit. I'll say it again. Head to Medikit. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but anyways, I'll repeat it again, guys. Eddie Kingston hits a DDT to sack Gibson onto the floor roof for the win, and that's what happened right there, guys. And I'm telling you, that was amazing. That was an amazing match. I'm telling you, man, we should have more cool stuff like that. Parking lot matches and stuff in AEW. That was so cool in Las Vegas. It was so cool, in my opinion. You guys can put your opinions on the replay. I appreciate all the love and support as always. So yes, guys, that's my thoughts on that. Then we had Roderick Strong is going to chance his luck in the TNT title open challenge, and Mark Briscoe believes Strong can win, and he asks for the first shot at Corporation's buddies, and Strong looks Briscoe in the eye to say that he's not in the consideration. Then we had the triple threat main event for the TNT title. Tommaso Ciampa faces Roderick Strong and Claudio Castagnoli. This triple threat was nice. This was a nice main event. Nice, just nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's talk about it, guys. So a since pace of clubbering and I'll say it again, clubbing and clobbering, and the closing minutes went into overdrive, and Tommaso Ciampa hits a DDT and an angel swing on Claudio, and Claudio caught Tommaso Ciampa running knee to counter for the giant swing, and Roderick Strong drop kicked Ciampa to the end that ride, and Claudio caught Roderick Strong jumping knee to counter for a pop-up uppercut, and Roderick Strong escaped to I'll say it again. Roderick Strong escaped the neutralizer to blast Claudio with a pair of jumping knee strikes. I'll say it again. I'll repeat it again, guys. Roderick Strong escapes the neutralizer to splash Claudio with a pair of jumping knee strikes. I'll repeat it again. Strikes on the cover, and Tommaso Ciampa blindside Roderick Strong with a running knee out of nowhere. That was final blow as Tommaso Ciampa pins Roderick Strong, and that's what happened, and that's how Tommaso Ciampa retained the TNT title, and that's what happened right there, guys. Then afterwards, Kyle Fletcher issued a challenge for next week on Dynamite, and he wants the TNT title for a hero welcome back home for Grand Slam Australia, and Ciampa was game to defend the gold, and that's what happened right there, guys, and good stuff, and I gave this show a 10 out of 10. This collision was a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10, in my opinion, guys. It was an excellent show, in my opinion. I don't care what the haters say on this app or on X or whatever the heck it is, because their mentality is not good, in my opinion. Their mentality is no good. But anyways, guys, that's all I have to say. And I love you all that are nice and respectful. And for the trolls, I hope one day they can have more respect and manners, but probably not. But anyways, guys, like I said again, I gave this AW Collision February 7th, 2026, this past Saturday, a 10 out of 10. Excellent show for me, guys. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit those notification bells as always. And this is CJD 2006. I'll say it again, this is CJD 2006. And peace out and take care and much love, guys. Peace out and take care and much love.